Silence is one of the most underrated forms of power. In a world that glorifies instant reactions, clapbacks, and viral outbursts, the ability to stay quiet in the face of disrespect is not weakness. It's strength in its rawest form. When someone disrespects you, the natural instinct is to respond. You want to defend yourself, prove your worth, correct a lie, or expose the truth. But the truth is, the loudest person in the room is rarely the most powerful. The loudest person is usually the most insecure, the most desperate to be seen, to be heard, to be validated. But silence is confidence. Silence is composure. Silence says, I know who I am. I don't need you to confirm it. When you stay quiet after being disrespected, you're not conceding, you're conserving. You're protecting your energy for what truly matters, the work, the grind, the legacy you're building. Think about how much time and energy is wasted going back and forth with people who don't even matter in the long run. People who ain't got purpose, people who throw shade because they can't stand your light. You got to understand, some folks disrespect you not because of who you are, but because of who they're not. Your discipline offends their laziness. Your ambition exposes their comfort zone. Your presence reminds them of everything they gave up on. And instead of fixing themselves, they attack you. So what do? You stay quiet. You let them talk. You let them post. You let them whisper. Because while they're watching you, you're watching the clock. And while they're hating on you, you're working on you. Every second you spend trying to clap back is a second you could have spent becoming undeniable. Because here's what silence does. It builds suspense. It makes people wonder what you're up to. It makes them uncomfortable. They expect you to lose it, to spiral, to give them a reaction they can hold against you. But when you don't give it to them, when you keep showing up, keep building, keep improving, without saying a word, that silence becomes deafening. And the most dangerous person in the room is the one who has every reason to explode but chooses not to. The one who's been betrayed, rejected, disrespected, and instead of throwing a tantrum, they build a strategy. They make moves in the dark. They level up in silence. That's when people start to pay attention. Because while they were laughing, you were learning. While they were mocking, you were mastering. While they were talking, you were transforming. That's power. See, silence isn't passive, it's intentional. It's a decision to keep your mouth shut and your vision loud. It's a choice to rise above the noise and focus on the mission. And when you finally walk into that room, when you finally reveal what you've been working on, there won't be anything left to say. Your presence will scream for you. Your excellence will scream for you. Your elevation will silence every lie, every insult, every doubt. Most people don't get this. They think if you're not responding, you're afraid. If you're not defending yourself, you're guilty. But the truth is, you're just too focused to be distracted. You've reached a level of maturity that doesn't require approval. You've learned to put your ego aside in favor of your future. And that's a level most people never reach because they're too busy trying to win petty battles instead of winning the war. There's a difference between noise and narrative. Anybody can make noise, loud, messy, chaotic noise. But when you write a narrative through your actions, through your growth, through your quiet consistency, you're shaping how the story ends. And the people who disrespected you, they'll have no choice but to watch that story unfold with no role in it. They'll sit on the sidelines while you play the lead, not because you shouted them down, but because you outgrew them. So the next time someone disrespects you, ask yourself, is it worth my peace? Is it worth my energy? Is it worth the progress I could be making right now? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Let your work answer for you. Let your growth answer for you. Let your glow up speak the truth they tried to bury. Because when you're truly about that life, when you're about purpose, about elevation, about destiny, you learn that silence isn't absence, it's presence on a higher level. Success is the best revenge, not because it proves them wrong, but because it proves you right. When someone disrespects you, underestimates you, or tries to break you down, the most powerful thing you can do is rise. Not with words, not with arguments, not with petty comebacks, but with results, with achievement, with transformation. You don't get even by dragging them down. You get even by going so far up, they can't reach you anymore. They tried to bury you, but they didn't know you were a seed. And when you rise, when you flourish, that's the revenge they can't silence. See, people don't forget success. They might forget the words you said, they might forget the heat of the moment, but they don't forget the feeling they had when they saw you win. They don't forget how it felt to see you walk across that stage, sign that deal, reach that goal they never thought you could. You want to hurt them? Outlast them. Outwork every lie they told about you. That's the difference between temporary satisfaction and lasting impact. Clapping back feels good for a moment, but success, that echoes forever. Revenge through success means taking the energy from the disrespect and redirecting it into the fire that fuels you. They gave you doubt? Good. Turn it into discipline. They said you couldn't? Great. Use it to build consistency. Every insult becomes a rep. Every betrayal becomes a lesson. Every closed door becomes a new path. You use it. You don't let it break you. You let it sharpen you. Because the real revenge is showing them that they didn't stop anything. You didn't fold. You didn't quit. You evolved. And this kind of revenge doesn't happen overnight. This ain't about instant gratification. It's about a mindset, a lifestyle. It's about making the decision that you're going to stay the course, no matter how long it takes. Because you know what hurts more than a reaction? Your name coming up in rooms they can't enter. Your face showing up in places they never expected. Your work being recognized on platforms they'll never reach. That's the kind of revenge you don't have to announce. It announces itself. Most people want revenge through attention. They want to be seen, to be heard, to be understood. But when you chase success instead of attention, you don't just win the moment. You win the future. You build something that can't be taken away. Something solid. Something that lasts. And when you do that, you don't just prove them wrong. You prove to yourself that they never had the power in the first place. They never defined you. They never controlled your destiny. You took the pain and turned it into purpose. People will say you changed. Let them. That's the point. You weren't supposed to stay the same. Growth offends those who stayed stagnant. They'll say you switched up, that you think you're better now. You don't think you know, because you've done the work. You've paid the price. You've bled for your breakthrough. And now you wear success not like a trophy, but like armor. Not to brag, but to remind yourself that you're built for this. You don't need to post about every move. You don't need to explain every step. You just need to stay locked in. Stay dangerous, stay humble, but hungry. Because the ones who disrespected you, they're watching. Whether they admit it or not, they're watching your every move. Not because they care about you, but because deep down they know they were wrong. They know they misjudged you. And now they got to sit with it, not because you embarrassed them, but because you elevated. And that's the beautiful part. You don't have to destroy them. You don't have to step on them to rise. You just have to succeed. You just have to keep going. And when you do, your presence becomes a reminder. Your life becomes a response. You don't need revenge that makes them cry. You need success that makes them silent. Because nothing screams louder than a person who was doubted, counted out, disrespected, and still made it. That's the loudest shout you'll ever need. Self-re-entreat and focus are the hidden weapons of the greats. Everybody wants to win, But not everybody wants to stay disciplined when it's uncomfortable. When disrespect comes flying at you, when people are testing you, poking at your pride, trying to get a reaction, you've got two choices. You can react emotionally and let them pull you out of your position, or you can stay grounded, stay locked in, and move like a champion. The difference between average and elite is not just talent, it's restraint. It's emotional maturity. It's the ability to walk away from the noise and walk toward the mission. There's this myth that being strong means clapping back, that being powerful means proving yourself to everybody who doubts you. But real power is restraint. Real power is walking past the people who disrespected you with your head high, not because you're afraid to fight, but because you know the real fight is staying focused. You don't win by swinging at every distraction. You win by staying consistent in silence. Every time you choose not to react, you protect your peace. Every time you walk away, you secure your progress. Because some battles are designed to make you forget your purpose. Some arguments are traps to pull you away from your goals. People think focus means tunnel vision, that you're just obsessed with the goal. But true focus is deeper than that. It means mastering your emotions so nothing shakes you. It means you don't let anger make your decisions. You don't let pride steer the wheel. You're in control of yourself when everything around you is trying to take control of you. That's power. That's discipline. That's what separates the ones who talk from the ones who build. When you respond emotionally to disrespect, you're giving away your power. You're letting them write your script. But when you stay composed, you keep the pen in your hand, you get to write your story the way you want it told. And let me tell you something, the enemy doesn't fear your reaction. The enemy fears your discipline. They fear the version of you that doesn't flinch. The version that keeps working while they keep talking. Because when you're in control of you, your focus becomes lethal. You can't afford to be distracted. Every time you detour to deal with drama, you delay your destiny. That's the cost. And it's not worth it. Because every time you respond to pettiness, you reinforce that you're still reachable by low-level energy. But when you stop entertaining it, when you elevate beyond it, you send a message without saying a word. I'm not coming down there anymore. I got work to do. And I get it, it's hard. It's hard when you know you're being disrespected. And people expect you to just take it. But this isn't about letting people walk over you. It's about walking around them. It's about staying so focused on your own path that you don't even have time to acknowledge the foolishness. Because the time you spend trying to fix what people think is time you could have used to fix your future. Let them think what they want. Let them misjudge you. You're not here for validation. You're here for transformation. Self-growth is not about pretending things don't hurt. It's about choosing what deserves your energy. Some things may sting, but they don't deserve a reaction. Some words may cut, but they're not worth your time. You have a calling. You have a purpose. You have a destination that can't be reached with constant detours. Stay the course. Stay locked in. Your emotions are real, but your mission is greater. That's how you elevate. That's how you grow. By not needing to prove yourself to small minds, by not needing to respond to every little thing. The moment you learn to pause, to breathe, to focus, not on the insult, but on the outcome, you become unstoppable. Because now you're not just fueled by passion, you're guided by discipline. That combination is deadly. People won't understand it. They'll call you cold. They'll say you've changed. That's fine. Let them misunderstand your silence. Let them misinterpret your calm. Because when the results start showing up, when the fruit of your focus becomes undeniable, they won't need your words to understand anymore. They'll see it. They'll feel it, and they'll realize you didn't need to scream because you were too busy winning. Real growth happens in the shadows, not in arguments, That's the truth most people overlook. Everybody wants to be seen, wants to be heard, wants the credit, the likes, the attention. But real elevation, the kind that lasts, the kind that transforms you from the inside out, it doesn't happen on a stage. It doesn't happen in comment sections or back and forth debates. It happens when nobody's clapping, when nobody's watching, when it's just you, the grind, and the silence. See, growth is quiet. It's uncomfortable. It's lonely. It's not always glamorous. It's not about proving people wrong in the moment. It's about becoming unrecognizable later. While they're busy arguing, you're busy evolving. While they're throwing shade, you're planting seeds. You're putting in work on the days when it doesn't feel good, when there's no applause, no spotlight, no recognition. That's where champions are made, in the dark, in the hidden places, in the process. You don't need to announce your growth. You don't need to explain yourself to the people who doubted you. Let them talk. Let them question. Let them assume. Because while they're watching for a response, you're building something they can't touch. You're leveling up so quietly that by the time they realize what's happening, it's too late. They're still stuck on the old version of you, but that version doesn't even live here anymore. You outgrew that version while they were still talking about it. Growth in the shadows means choosing process over pride. It means not needing to correct every lie or defend every attack. You know who you are. You know where you're going. You don't need validation from people who can't even see your vision. You don't need to be understood by people who never had the capacity to understand you in the first place. You're not here to win arguments. You're here to win in life. You're not trying to be right. You're trying to be better. And sometimes that means disappearing for a while. Sometimes that means falling off the radar, not because you quit, but because you're working. You're investing in the version of you that no one sees yet. You ever see a tree grow? It doesn't make noise, doesn't demand attention, but every single day it's stretching, it's pushing deeper roots, it's reaching higher into the sky. That's you. Quietly growing, quietly becoming, and eventually the fruit will speak for itself. The progress will speak, the results will speak. You don't need to argue with anybody when your life starts showing evidence. The same people who overlooked you will have to acknowledge you, not because you convinced them, but because your growth made it undeniable. Most people stay stuck because they need to be seen too soon. They abandon the shadows before the process is finished. They want to post every move, prove every point, clap back at every critic. But in doing so, they sacrifice the depth, they sacrifice the roots. And when the storm comes, they collapse because they never stayed in the dark long enough to grow strong. Don't be like that. Stay planted. Stay low until it's time to rise. You don't grow by reacting. You grow by reflecting. You grow by getting honest with yourself, by cutting distractions, by developing consistency when no one's checking for you. That's the real work. That's the kind of growth that can't be faked. Because when you finally emerge, when you finally step into the light, it's not hype, it's real, it's solid, and nobody can take it from you. Let the world sleep on you. Let them think you're done. Let them mistake your silence for weakness. What they don't know is that you're evolving, you're becoming, you're learning how to move differently. And when you step back on the scene, it won't be a comeback, it'll be a whole new level. The arguments you used to care about won't even register anymore. The people who once triggered you won't even faze you because you've changed, you've elevated. And the best part, you won't even need to say a word. Your presence will speak for you. Your peace will speak. Your strength will speak. That quiet growth will echo louder than any debate ever could. While they argued, you built. While they watched, you worked. While they stayed stuck in the same cycle, you broke free and became everything they said you couldn't be. Not in the spotlight, not in the noise, but in the shadows, where real change is born. So at the end of the day, it ain't about what they said. It's about what you did. You don't get stronger by reacting, you get stronger by rising. You don't win by arguing with people beneath your purpose. You win by staying quiet, staying focused, and letting success speak on your behalf. Every moment of disrespect is an opportunity to double down on discipline. Every insult is fuel. Every setback is training. Let them talk, let them doubt, let them throw shade. You just keep building in silence, growing in the dark, and walking with purpose. Because the ones who last don't fight with noise, they move with power.